Have you ever wondered if there are subtle cues that might reveal something about a woman's sexual past? Well, today we're tackling a topic that tends to stir up debate. 4 signs that may indicate a woman has had many sexual partners. While this is a sensitive subject, it's important to note that we aren't here to judge or perpetuate stereotypes. Our goal is to challenge misconceptions and help foster understanding in the realm of dating and relationships. Let's face it, relationships and human behavior are complex. So, by exploring these signs, we aim to promote more open, honest conversations, encouraging transparency in your connections. But remember, these indicators should never be used to pass judgment on someone. They're simply tools to help you better understand people and their behaviors. Before we dive in, if you're new here, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's jump into the first sign. Sign number 1. Behavior and attitude. When it comes to understanding someone's sexual history, behavior and attitude can often give us clues. But let's get one thing straight. Being social or outgoing isn't inherently bad. However, there are certain behaviors that might suggest a more casual approach to relationships. So, what do we mean by this? Imagine you're at a party or social event. There's a woman who's constantly in the spotlight, engaging in playful banter and often flirting with men. Now, we all know that some people are naturally charismatic and love to socialize. That alone doesn't mean anything. But when this behavior is coupled with a constant need for male validation or overtly flirtatious tendencies, it could hint at a pattern of casual relationships. Why is this important? Because how we carry ourselves often reflects deeper emotional needs. If someone frequently seeks out attention, particularly from the opposite sex, it might indicate a past where they've been involved in numerous casual encounters. It's not about labeling anyone, but rather understanding why someone might behave in a certain way. Consider this. If a woman frequently finds herself as the life of the party, consistently gaining attention from men, it could stem from a desire for validation that she has historically sought through multiple partners. But again, this doesn't mean every outgoing person fits this mold. Context matters. It's important to look beyond the surface and consider other aspects of her personality and experiences. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, well, I know people who are like that, but they've only had a few partners, you're absolutely right. This isn't an exact science. Every individual is different, and there could be many reasons for such behavior. Perhaps it's simply part of their extroverted nature, or they're comfortable with their sexuality and enjoy flirting without any deeper implications. What we're discussing here are patterns and tendencies that, when combined with other factors, could suggest a particular lifestyle. Sign number 2, lack of emotional attachment. Moving on to the second sign, let's talk about emotional attachment, or rather, the absence of it. Have you ever been in a relationship where the other person seemed more interested in the physical aspect than in developing a deep emotional connection? If so, you might have encountered someone who prioritizes short-term satisfaction over long-term emotional investment. Emotional connection is the cornerstone of any strong, lasting relationship. But what happens when it's missing? Let's explore this a bit further. Imagine you're dating someone who avoids any serious discussions about the future. They dodge questions about exclusivity, don't like talking about commitment, and seem to have a live-in-the-moment attitude. While it's important to respect everyone's individual boundaries and personal journey, consistently avoiding emotional depth could be a sign of someone who's had numerous casual partners in the past. Why is this a clue? In many cases, people who have had a lot of casual relationships may have developed a habit of keeping things surface level, emotionally speaking. Perhaps they've learned not to get too attached because they associate relationships with temporary connections. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some people simply aren't interested in long-term commitments, but it can be a sign of a pattern. What does this mean for you? If you're someone looking for a serious, committed relationship, it's crucial to identify this behavior early on. A lack of emotional attachment can make it challenging to build the kind of relationship you're seeking. It's important to have open conversations about your expectations and see if there's alignment. If not, you might be dealing with someone whose past experiences have shaped them to favor short-term physical relationships over deeper emotional bonds. But, and this is key, just because someone avoids emotional attachment doesn't mean they've had a lot of partners. There could be other factors at play, like past trauma or simply not being ready for commitment. Again, context is everything. Sign number 3, the influence of social circles. Now, let's take a look at the social aspect of this conversation. You've probably heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. This can certainly apply when trying to understand someone's behavior and lifestyle choices. In many cases, our social circles reflect our interests, values, and habits. So, if a woman's social group is predominantly male, or she frequently socializes in environments known for casual interactions, it could give you a clue about her past experiences. For example, if her closest friends are mostly men, and her weekend activities revolve around clubbing or bar hopping, it might suggest she's more familiar or comfortable in situations that encourage casual encounters. Again, this doesn't mean everyone who enjoys nightlife is promiscuous, but repeated exposure to environments where hookups are common could indicate a certain lifestyle preference. Why does this matter? Our social circles often influence our behaviors and choices, whether we realize it or not. If someone spends a lot of time with people who engage in casual dating or hookups, it's possible they've adopted similar habits. However, it's essential not to jump to conclusions based solely on someone's social life. The key here is to consider the bigger picture, combining this information with other signs to form a more complete understanding. It's also worth noting that social circles can change over time. Someone's past group of friends might have influenced certain behaviors, but people grow and evolve. It's important to keep that in mind before making any assumptions about someone's current lifestyle based on their past. Sign number 4, physical signs. Lastly, let's talk about physical signs. Now, this is a tricky one because, as we all know, appearance alone should never be used to judge someone's experiences or choices. However, when combined with other indicators, certain physical signs might provide additional insight into a woman's sexual history. For instance, some people might point to things like tattoos that are commonly associated with sexual freedom or unconventional grooming habits. Others may mention things like sexually transmitted infections, STIs, as a potential clue. But it's crucial to approach this with caution and sensitivity. Physical signs are not definitive proof of anything, and making assumptions based on someone's appearance can lead to harmful stereotypes and misunderstandings. So, how should we approach this? Rather than jumping to conclusions, consider these physical signs as one piece of a larger puzzle. If, for example, a woman has visible tattoos that may be tied to certain experiences, it's worth considering in the context of her overall behavior, social circle, and emotional tendencies. However, always remember that a person's appearance is just one small part of who they are, and it shouldn't be the sole factor in forming your opinion. Conclusion: understanding without judgment. So, there you have it. The 4 signs that might indicate a woman has had multiple sexual partners. But let's be clear, the purpose of this video isn't to pass judgment or make assumptions about anyone's past. Instead, it's about understanding human behavior and fostering more open, honest communication in relationships. The signs we've discussed today can provide some insight, but they are by no means a definitive guide to someone's sexual history. Relationships are built on trust, communication, and respect, so always approach these conversations with empathy and understanding. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Do you agree with the signs we've discussed? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help grow our community. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.